Hello and alert, we have a Nürburgring time trial challenge in the online section here, the lap time challenge, and that means I'm in. I love this track. The car is the 911 Porsche Carrera RS Clubsport from 1995. The department it's lacking in it would be grip. The Japanese driver is currently with the world record at 7 minutes 29, which means I have to get within 3% of that to get gold. The gold time being 7:42.518. Now this track has proven to be rather tricky because it is the longest track in the game. However, there are some areas where I think I can understand the flow quite well. It is very fun, I will say. Now, this track is somewhere I would love to visit one day. The flow is amazing. I just can't imagine what it'd be to actually drive there. Even in a normal car, really. I could drive anything around there and be happy. All right, let's give it a go. Got to align myself. Okay, better. Right, so the first attempt is a banker. Never going to be perfect, but it's something to put in so at least I can use it to improve. Just as a little ghost, something I can pass and feel good about myself. Yes. Alright, we're way off already. Sure, it looks spectacular from the outside. Not very fast though. Now at times this is a first lap, so of course there is an allergy to the curb at times, and sometimes you absorb a little bit too much of that curb. I do need to get used to the characteristics of this car. That there, folks, is the classic racing driver excuse. Now we're coming down into the left-hander. This is the fun part of the track. It's a nice little bit of flow here. So here you want to make sure the back of the car is controlled. You can feel the weight shift as you turn in. It's a balancing act where you're sort of dancing between oversteer and understeer. Bit sideways. Which happens sometimes, but the idea is to keep it within the realm of grip. This car having minimal grip, yet maximal fun. Maximal, of course, a word having been invented by yours truly. Now this section of the track must be extremely hair-raising in real life. It's flatten the throttle from the top of the hill. Harden the brakes, gear 4, turn in. Well, it's way off gold. I don't think I'm going to get there in 42 seconds. I don't think it's unachievable. Very fun though. This is a great challenge. The handling is loose, but balanced. And when I say balance, I actually mean unbalanced, because the engine's right at the back. What I really mean to say is that it's predictable and very fun. 10 seconds off. We're going to make up another 8 seconds here. Fuck. The first signs of frustration kicking in here on a young Mark. But a bronze on the first go is okay. Bronze! First go bronze. Average. Very average. Let's just see what the best guy is doing. Was it okay, man? Don't be so hard on yourself. Now it is interesting to see what the best in the world is actually doing with this track. You can really see how much they're sliding the back end around in a way where they're not even losing traction. Although they are at the same time. So the dynamic way that they... Look at that curb bounce. Yet look at the traction, it's still there and it's still accelerating in this mid-range of the gear. Wow, impressive. So these guys, you can learn a lot from looking at the replay, and yeah, I got a bit out of it. It took me a while to practice these first few corners. I would keep restarting every time that I got one little bit wrong in these first few corners, because you just feel dirty if you don't get these first few corners right. You have to get them right. Now this was super impressive, sliding off onto the left-hand side of the track, back in, right to the edge of the circuit. Absolutely no allergies to the curb to this person. Hugging the curb, zero allergies, they love the curb.
Never goes to second.
And look at that time. Now that split was my favourite split. I used that place to really measure where I was on the track. 23.7, 1 minute 23.7 was quite impressive. Coming out third here, shifting ups to minimise wheel spin.
Crazy driving. Let's give it a crack.
And crack I did give it. I mean, not only did I give it a crack, I was a lumberjack, absolutely slogging pieces of wood down the centre. I mean, by this point, you'd think I'd have the patience of a saint, not just losing my shit.
Fuck!
Okay, maybe not. Now here I actually managed to get a pretty good split at this point. 126.5, that was coming down.
Ah!
We need the ceiling fan.
We're back.
Back indeed. Now, this was an interesting lap because it sort of allowed me to see my potential of what I could do around here. Far from perfect, but it was interesting. Coming down the first corner, a slight lift on the throttle around this corner allows the rear to kind of slide around, but then it's back onto the throttle straight away. Fourth, third down this corner without losing grip. You just want to make sure you're not sliding too much. The idea is to keep it as grippy and forward moving as you can. Yep, bang on, getting it straight on there. Keeping up with the Ghost of the fastest in the world. Well, sort of. Now, this was an interesting lap, but far from perfect. Braking really hard right at the end of the curbstone and trying to get into gear 3, but unfortunately hit gear 2 over the curbs, and the sector time will be a 127.0.
Screwed that up.
But some recovery was done.
6 seconds off. Better than 10, but still a little bit off.
What would we get for this lap? Was it anything much?
Oh! That's insane. What was that anyway?
7:48. So at least I know my potential.
That's 5 seconds better. Oh gosh.
If you can, chuck us a like and a sub and I can keep this up. The slog continues. Now trying to get this first corner right, and I'm just allergic to the first corner there. Allergic to the curbstone. Way off. We keep at it. Slight lift, smashing it, flooring it through that second corner. Fourth, third, trying not to slide. Eating some of the curb, num. Definitely eat a little bit of a curb there. Slide too much, losing time. And we succumb to the frustration.
Oh, fuck!
Now it's funny, sometimes we may get the first corners get really bang on, flooring it down there. You can have a great first few sectors, first half of the lap even, and you can go around the back of the forest up the top of the track, and just a small mistake, you go out too wide, and you know what, that can carry on into the next lap. In fact, it wasn't even in the next lap, it was just the next corner. Now managed to nail this 1-2 of a dance, putting the left side of the car into the grass, sliding over so slightly to keep within the limits of grip, hitting the edge of the curb there. This time hitting third gear, getting around the corner. In the semi-respectable sector at a 126.0. Coming out of the little chicane, one of the YouTube corners, with a 156.9 out of that split.
Keep it in fifth. Horrible. Far out, slower than last time.
Well, actually, it wasn't too bad, and so this lap was my best time so far. And I was happy until a few corners later.
Well, 3 seconds off, that'll do for today. There's no optical because I can't do a second lap in a row. We're silver and we're close. Night 2, baby. We are back. 46.3. Did I say I was 3 seconds off? I'm actually 4 seconds off. I can't count.
And Night 2 was back with a bang in the first corner. Unfortunately, the second corner, another bang. And as I was warming up, I did manage to get a little bit better going around Arenberg. This corner can be a bit funny because you think you can go in hot, but it's not. You got to go in a bit slower than you think. It allows you to come out faster.
I gotta find some time.
And with time comes the inevitable mistakes. Yeah, really with these mistakes, it's a symptom of pushing too hard. Really, if I could wind back the time and redo this, I would just lower the effort by 0.5%, just so I can learn a bit more rather than pushing all the time. Now it's time to revisit the new best time in the world. Amazing how he takes that first corner. It's a slight lift, then back to full throttle even before he hits the apex. Doesn't change down to fifth around here. Brakes at the end of the curbstone and then really hugs the apex of Arenberg. Or Arenberg, I should say. Left wheels on the grass. Just wanted to watch the end of the lap here just because I was hitting the end of that last corner. You can see he drifts right left out almost onto the concrete.
How'd I get away with that?
Another fun part of the track here. Flat all the way through. A very edible curb section. Eating the curb up. Nice little packed lunch there on the left. Another packed lunch. Maybe a bit too much. Does it hit? Oh, and it goes red. The frustration shows.
Gotta put it together.
What coulda, woulda been. Now, just for all those playing at home, if you got the Fanatec DD Pro, you actually have the Ghost Show Hide button mapped to the up button there, which I didn't know. Now, this lap was interesting. Not allergic to the curb whatsoever, eating the curb on the right, discovering the Show Hide Ghost button. Slight lift, hard into the corner, it's flooring it through. This was a fun lap, this one. I actually managed to do not too badly. It was far from perfect, but the first sector really nailed it here. Keeping it in the grip, in the realm of grip. gobbling up corners. They're lunch. These corners are just absolute lunch. 26.2, not the worst. Now small allergy to this corner. Don't quite hit the apex, but I get going anyway. Rounding off to finish the lap. Hitting just a little bit of concrete on the left there, but not quite. Not quite this time. Was it going to be gold? No. Just off. 7:43.
Far out. Half a second almost. One more go, then I'll try it tomorrow.
And one more go was many more goes.
I don't think I lost any time doing that, funnily enough. Oh, shit! Oh. I'm done. We'll do it tomorrow.
Day 3, and after digesting at least my own body weight and curbs, I was obviously delirious because I'd forgotten to turn on my mic. So here we go with the voiceover, rechecking the best in the world just to see if I could learn anything else. It was my last attempt. I wasn't going to do this any too much longer. This was just taking up too much of my time. But gold was the objective. Now my return actually nailed just hitting the concrete and getting a great lead up to the first corner on my first go back here. Zero allergies to the curb, just hitting it, touching it, just a small morsel of curb as a snack with double C. Snack with double C. Small lift, again, just touching the curb, a morsel of curb to digest. Flying out of the foxhole, shifting down, fourth, third, but a little unbalanced and hit the curb. Just took too big of a bite on that occasion. Too wide. Now I'm starting to think, is this even achievable? Will I get there? And here I don't want to fall into the same trap of making the same mistakes over and over again. It's really hard to focus sometimes once you get into a bad habit. Now this here was gonna be a lap. That's correct, a lap. A very, very good one. Hitting into the leading corner, just nailing it, not having any contact with the wall, which is ideal, especially on a time trial event. Small morsel of curb on the first corner. Absolutely nailed that one. Fourth, third. Touch and smidge of the corner there. over the grass, eating as much curb as they can there, really using as much track as possible. Now coming around very quickly, breaking out the curbstone, really putting the anchors on, slightly hot. However, the split was the best yet. 25.9. 1 minute 25.9. Really using the whole curb there. Coming around to the last corner. Will it be gold? 7 minutes 42.7. No. And that was it. Silver. Jeez. But you know what? Silver's not too bad. So 3.05% of the best. 3,467th. But you know what? Let's give it another couple of goes. Could I do anything else? I tried, to be fair. I did try a couple times. You know, a couple of fails here. Another one round this corner. Just too much. Frustration creeping in. And the next lap, the exact same mistake. Same corner. Too hot. I just want to show you one more mistake. Now let's just reset, get back into the groove. To be fair, this was the last lap I was going to do for the whole night. And that means it was time for
maximal overdrive.
Great lead in, didn't hit the wall. And here we go, the timer starts. Just getting the back to swing around enough to touch the apex of the corner, eating the correct amount portion of curb on the right. Slight lift, back on the throttle hard. I'm keeping up on this one. Down to third. Not trying to slide out too much. Using the correct amount of curb, staying off that one. Minor corrections here and there just to make sure I'm staying within that balance of forward momentum. Using a small bit of the grass here to swing the end back into the corner. Now I've set this ghost to be half a second in front from where I start. Slightly off the apex there, but hard on the anchors down to third and hugging the corner. Making sure I touch the apex. Let's check the sector. Ooh, 125.6. That's the best yet. Down the hill, absolutely smashing it into the foxhole. Tricky chicane, just making sure I don't over rev it. Switching up to third early just to make sure I don't get any wheel spin. Slight correction into the high speed corner. This is an interesting one, lots of little corrections around here. Could have gone a bit closer to the apex, but eating the curb on the left hand side. And I've crashed here many times before. Ooh. Just keeping it in. Gear 2. Close to the apex, almost got it. Good amount of curb on the outside of the exit. Hard correction there, but didn't lose too much time. Braking hard, right on the blue marker, but not turning in too early. Hitting the apex and then really drifting out to use all the road. Now here you don't actually hit the right hand side of the track, you keep it on the other side to make sure you line up for the big left-hander. Flat through there. A little bit of correction. Make sure I don't go too hot into the carousel. Now the flowy part. This is the good fun. Pretty much fourth gear through all these corners. Switching down to third. Using as much track as possible. Again, using as much track into the YouTube corner as possible. Giving the fans a good show on YouTube corner. Thank you guys, didn't crash this time. Funnily enough, throughout this whole challenge, I don't think I crashed once at YouTube corner. Small amount of air. Now it's flat through here. Just got to keep the line right. Hugging the left-hand side, swing it back into the right. You've got enough room just on that corner there just to get it through flat out. Braking now, back into the fourth. Fair bit of oversteer under braking there. Coming into the second carousel, and you want to try and aim for an early exit. It kind of flicks you out the side there. As we come into the Dottinger Straight, we get the best sector time yet onto it. 6 minutes 50.6. As we come up to the final few corners, I'm sweating. We're slamming on the anchors just to make sure I don't lose the rear. Eating the curb. We've got to make sure we take up a little bit of concrete here. Back, calling in, didn't hit the wall. What's it gonna be? Will it be gold? Yes! We got it! Woo! And that's gold. So that's 7 minutes 41.432. Just enough to put me under the top 2,000. Although here is 2025th. Cool 2 million credits. Gonna spend it on wings and suspension. But there we go. Put me up to 45 gold. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Please like and subscribe. And thank you for watching till the end.